here we have a Cat Labs negative, 8x10. It was developed in Xstall 1:1 for 10.5 minutes in a BTZS tube. Now I wanted to print this in carbon transfer, but it looks a little thin. So first I'm going to check the base plus fog. And it's 0.12. I'll clear that out. 0.12. Now I'm going to check Dmax, and it's in this area here, probably here. So let's check that. .27, 0.28, 1.28 for the Dmax. Now I'll check the Dmin, and it's maybe in there. Let's check this one. .16, 0.15, 0.15. So we have a density range of 1.13. And that is short. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to intensify this in Kodak Rapid Toner. See if I can raise the contrast or raise the Dmax. Okay, I'm going to start by soaking the negative in a tray of water. It's 20 degrees Celsius. And I'll let it soak in here for 5 minutes. And while it's soaking, I'll get the Kodak Rapid Selenium toner ready. I'll use a 1:3 dilution. And when you're using this, work in a ventilated area because the fumes are pretty strong. Okay, 5 minutes are up, and we are ready to intensify. Now the color of this, the negative will change. It'll become more bluish, just like when you're toning your prints. Okay, so in we go, and I'll agitate constantly. And I've got the timer set for 5 minutes, so I'm gonna go for the first 3, and then I'm gonna check it. Just have a quick peek. It's already changing. Now you can do a weaker dilution of up to 1 to 5, but I really like 1 to 3. Usually I can get about a 1 zone boost in contrast. So what I mean by that is I can bump an area that's zone 7 to zone 8 with very little effect in the shadows. And that's very useful, especially when you're using a film like HP5 that tends to build up a lot of base plus fog density with extended development times, kind of rendering it useless for a lot of alt processes. So selenium toning or intensification is one way to get around that. You can see it's the color of the negative has changed. I've got about 1.5 minutes to go, so I'm going to go right to the end here. Now if you've never done this before, I would recommend not doing it with a negative that's important to you. I would test it on a negative that doesn't really matter to you. And you get best effects if you use a negative that's got a decent density range. So the higher your Dmax is, you'll get better results. Okay, we got 10 seconds. I'll drain it, and then I'm just going to go back into this tray. I'll move this out of the way. And now I'll start to rinse and wash. So once it's dry, I'll get it on the light table and get the densitometer out and read the densities, and we'll compare them to the first set of densities that I took. Alright, here is the Selenium toned or Selenium intensified negative. Let's compare it with the untoned or unintensified. You can see color is very different. The intensified negative is very, very blue, whereas the unintensified is more a neutral tone. And now I'm going to take some density readings of this negative and compare them to the readings before I intensified the negative. So let's check the base fog. I'll zero this out. .13. So it's gone up slightly. I mean, it's nothing to be alarmed about. Right? I mean, these are basically the same. Dmax. And I believe I took the reading down in this area here. 1.55. Yep, 1.55. 1.55. You can see it's considerably different. This here is closer to a zone 8 for me. Usually target for about 1.35 for zone 8. So this is more like a 9, 1.55, 9.5. Let's check our D min, 0.20. Okay, so there's a slight increase of 0.05, which isn't too bad. It's pretty good. So we have a density range of 1.35. Now this is more density range that I prefer for a gelatin silver printing.